All right, welcome to Blues Day Tuesday. This is going to be a jam on an old tune called Deep Elem Blues. I know this one from the Grateful Dead, but a lot of other people have done it over the years. So this is going to have a cool little riff to it. Okay, so it's got a cool little riff to it. We got open to 1 on the G string, and then we got the B string open and the E string open. So we'll hit that little E again. So we got 3, 2, 0 on the B string. Do it again. Now sometimes you can go kind of double hit that little E. Now this last one, 3, 2 to that open 1 to the 2. So let's look at all that. There we got. To the big 2, and then here we can go. So you could do a couple of different ways. You could go 2, 4, 5, 6, 2. So, or you could go 2, 4, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so the whole thing. That, so da 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 dum. So we're gonna hit the 2 twice, bum bum, and then we're gonna go. You can either do a half step there, 5 to 6 to this 5 on the second string, or you can go like 4 to 6. So dum dum. We'll hit that again. So that's a little half stepper there, quick one. Back. And we got that 6 on the G coming back here to this 5. So we got, this is the A note. This is the A chord. So our first chord is the E chord or E7 chord. And then A7 is our next chord. You can do it like this as well. Think of it as an A too. So that's our A note. And that's our riff off the A. And at that point we come back to our E. We hammer into that note. That note belongs to this E chord here. Here goes to the A. And then we got our hammer. We're strum the E. We can do another one of those if we want. And then we got, so we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is gonna take us up to the B chord or B7. So we got, we're gonna go up to the 7 on the second string. And then we have this half step, 3 to 4 in the B string to 4 in the G. So we got. So we have a couple of those for us. Back into that, 2 here to the 4 here, and then we're gonna have. We could do an open 1 here to this 2, or we could go 5, 6 to 6. Here's the B. Back to the E. And then you'd be into the singing part. So one more time through all that, we got. then we got to the A, open to 1, back to E. Now we're going up to B. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the 7, half step, to the 2, and once again on that part you could go O to 1 and hit the 2, so it'd be. And then we're back to the E. Okay, now for our progression, we'd be like 3 and 4 and. So basically 4 times of that. Maybe the last time I'll put in this E7, give it some movement. We got A7, sweet mama, daddy's got them E, and then back to E. Now we're going to B7, but we're not going to go to the A. We're going to stay on that B7. Now go back to E. And then we'd start over. And you could be doing your E minor pentatonic blues scales or your E major pentatonic. We'll talk about those in a second. We got our B7, stay on that B7, and then we got our E7. So let's talk about the scales here. So we have our B minor pentatonic scale. You can also slide that up. We also have, if we start on this note, we have our major pentatonic. So 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, and then we're going to jump to the 5, 5, 7, 9, and then 7, 9. You go all the way to the 12. Now something interesting that happens is like when we go to our A chord, you might use the A major pentatonic because that's going to sound best over that chord when it's held for a long time. So the E major pentatonic sounds best when we're playing the E chord. When we go to the A chord, you might try this one. 2, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. And the way the major pentatonics work, like look at this one for B. So if I start on the B, I got to go 3 notes in a row on that string. Then the next string will have 2 notes, and then the next string will have 3. So it alternates whether it's 3 or 2 notes. Like say this lower string here has 2, but this one here, the one with the note that is the root, that one has the first 3 notes in a row because that's a 1, 2, and a 3 from the major scale. And what it does is it ends up not doing a 4, and this is a 5 and a 6. And there's your 1, 2, 3 again. Okay, so you might think about when those chords change to A and B, you might go into the major pentatonic of those particular chords. That would be a little bit more to the chord's liking than just playing the same major pentatonic scale over all the changes. A blues scale, you can play that same scale over all 3 chord changes, and it seems to work out pretty well. Some notes sound better than others, but this other one, when you get into the major pentatonic, you really got to start thinking about shifting to the different chords. So let's jam a little bit more, and you guys do whatever you want to do. Also remember that there's things like hammer-on note right there to get you into. See, this note here would be part of that note there is part of that major pentatonic. So when you come from the open into that, you're going from minor to major. It creates a cool bluesy effect. So let's jam a bit more. 3 and 4 and. Our turnaround B7. We're going to stay on that B7, E7. There we go, starting again. So you could be using your minor pentatonic. Remember, you got your flat fifth in there. And you could be combining positions with those scales. Now here you might jump to the A major pentatonic. And then you'd want to jump back to your E major pentatonic or your E minor pentatonic. Here goes B7. Do that again. And back. Okay, now I'm going to do one. Give you a little ideas there. So I was using some notes from major, some notes from minor, mixing them up. Here goes A7. Here would be that A major. Back to E major pentatonic. Here's the B, A. Now, of course, this song, it wouldn't have gone to the A there. It would have stayed on the B twice. Back to E. All right, one more time through. Playing the blues on a Blues Day Tuesday. Let me know if you have any requests for next Blues Day Tuesday. All right, see you next time. Thanks a lot.